Alright, 50,000 years ago, the first humans set foot on Australia, totally clueless about what they were walking into. This wasn't just some island, it was a straight-up death trap. They ran into a crocodile that didn't just hunt in the water, but could chase you down on land like a freaking horse. Yeah, this thing was no joke. It went after those early humans and made them its lunch. Some folks got eaten, but others scrambled up trees thinking, phew, I'm safe up here. Nope. Suddenly they're staring down the world's biggest lizard. Can you imagine the panic? This isn't some made-up story. It's real. Back then, the world was a brutal place for humans. And Australia, it was the scariest part of all. Those two prehistoric creatures I just mentioned, they're just the tip of the iceberg. That continent was crawling with animals you wouldn't even dream of. That's why people called Australia the most dangerous place on Earth. And get this, even today, 95% of Australia is so wild that humans can't live there. They just can't survive it. I'm going to break down some of the insane prehistoric animals that roamed Australia. You'll be thanking your lucky stars they're extinct. About 35% of Australia is a desert where it pretty much never rains. Only a handful of creatures can hack it there. But it's not just the lack of water that makes it deadly. It's the 140 species of super venomous snakes slithering around. They don't call it the land of snakes for nothing. Oh, and Australia's got the world's most venomous snake, the taipan. One bite from that thing and you're done. I'm not kidding. Its venom is like 50 cobras worth of danger. If it gets you, there's no coming back. Now you might be like, oh, hold up, we're supposed to be talking about prehistoric animals, not snakes that are still around. Fair point. I brought up the taipan to make you think. If Australia's got beasts like that now, what kind of snakes were slithering around 50,000 years ago? Let me tell you about one crazy creature from 2.5 million to 10,000 years ago called Quinkana. It was a crocodile, but not your average one. This bad boy could hunt just as easily on land as in water. Instead of typical croc claws, it had hooves like a cow. Its legs were jacked, way bigger and stronger than a regular crocodile's. With those legs, Quinkana could leap and sprint across land like a horse. If it set its sights on you, good luck outrunning it. This 20-foot, 550-pound monster would make the ground shake when it charged. When scientists found its bones, they were blown away by how beefy its legs were. But Quinkana wasn't the only nightmare in Australia. The real terror for early humans and indigenous folks was Megalania, a giant lizard that went extinct about 30,000 years ago. Think of it as the great-granddaddy of monitor lizards, but way scarier. They called it a monster lizard. It was 3 times bigger than a Komodo dragon, stretching over 25 feet long. Scientists say it's one of the biggest lizards ever. This thing was so fast and agile on land, you couldn't outrun it, and it could climb trees like it was nothing. So hiding up there? Not an option. Megalania hunted in packs, and if you wandered into their turf, they'd tear you apart. Literally not a piece of you would be left. Oh, and it gets worse. These lizards were venomous. Picture a 25-foot lizard with poison-packed teeth chasing you at 30 miles an hour. Could you escape? Especially back then when you had no cars or fancy weapons to fight it off. Now you're probably wondering if Australia was just full of snakes, scorpions, lizards, and crocs. If the jungles were that wild back then, what about the lions and cheetahs? Meet Thylacoleo, the marsupial lion. If you're not familiar, a marsupial is an animal with a pouch for its babies, like a kangaroo. This thing was like a lion crossed with a kangaroo. It looked like a big cat but had a rabbit-like face. Super weird, super dangerous. Scientists call it one of the deadliest predators ever. Its fossilized jawbones showed teeth that were way more lethal than a modern lion's. It was fast and agile like a cat, ferocious like a lion, and could rip through the toughest hides with its chunky rabbit-like teeth. This creepy combo went extinct about 45,000 years ago. Trust me, the lions and cheetahs you see in zoos today, they've got nothing on Thylacoleo, and it wasn't just the land animals that were terrifying. Australia's prehistoric birds were no slouches either. They called them Thunderbirds, and they were 6 times bigger than today's biggest bird, the ostrich. Just check out their claws, pure nightmare fuel. These birds could snatch their prey and take off into the air. They weren't soaring. super high because they were so heavy. But get this, they stood 10 to 12 feet tall. If one of these things squared up with you on the ground, you were toast. Plus, they could run crazy fast like an ostrich. Try to bolt? Good luck, they weren't letting you go. These are just 4 of the wild prehistoric creatures that called Australia home. Now imagine what kind of monsters were roaming Africa, Antarctica, or the Amazon 500 years ago. The ancient world was not built for humans, but you know who the real dangerous creature was? Us. Humans use their brains to wipe out or drive to extinction even the biggest, baddest animals. Before digging into this, I thought dinosaurs were the only things humans had to worry about back then. Nope. Even the everyday animals, crocs, lizards, lions, birds, were absolute terrors. Thank goodness they're gone, or you wouldn't be chilling, watching this video. You'd probably have a crocodile hot on your tail, and I'd be dodging a giant lizard. So let's be grateful, kick back, and enjoy. If you like this, smash that like button. And if you're into this kind of stuff, hit subscribe. Catch you in the next wild video.